I don't know anything about anything. I don't know shit about shit. I just know I want to read. Hey, it's McKay. Welcome to the video. It is the beginning of April and I need a fresh start. I don't just mean this for this channel, although I do kind of mean this for this channel. This is the third time, I think, that I am attempting to actually have a booktube channel. I just want to do this so badly. So I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens for this, like, yeah, third time's the charm. I just have to get over the cringe. I have to get over it because all I think about is having a booktube channel and wanting to have a booktube channel. And I just need to do it. So I don't care anymore. I am doing whatever the fuck I want on this channel. I don't know what my schedule is gonna be. I have lots of ideas. I tried to film another vlog today and I was like, this is boring, but I'm probably gonna use some of that footage in this one. We're just trying things out, okay? And if you're willing to come along with me for this ride, I will be so very grateful. Thank you, and I hope I will not let you down. But the other fresh start I need is my reading. I have been in a reading slump for the past few months. In March, I didn't finish anything. I did read some things, but yeah, I didn't finish any books in March. I think I read like 3 books in January and 1 in February this year. Well, one of them was The Picture of Dorian Gray, which we'll get to. We'll get to that. The other 3, I don't want to talk about them right now. I could, but that's not what this video is about. Moving on to the next thing. So even though I haven't finished a lot of books, I am currently reading 5. I am currently reading 5 books. One of them, I'll talk about it in a second. One of them I'm not really focusing on for this, but the other 4, I need to get them off. I need to finish those. Anyway, I need to finish these fucking books. So, that's what the goal of this video is to finish these 4 books that I have had on my currently reading for a while now. One of them I did just start recently, so it hasn't been a while. But the other 3, I need to finish those. So let's get into it. Hopefully you can still hear me okay with my mic down here. I just got this today. So that's another thing. I fucking spent money to get a Bluetooth microphone and an actually decent tripod. So I need to get my money's worth out of those. That's why I need to keep doing this channel. Anyway, here they are. Let's meet them. Let's introduce each other. So I'll talk about the 2 that I am focusing on the most at the moment first. First up, we have this book, The Whole Picture, The Colonial Story of the Art in Our Museums and Why We Need to Talk About It by Alice Proctor. This, I have been borrowing this copy from a friend of mine for well over a year. I did start it finally in February, sometime in February, and I have about 80 pages left. A lot of this is like the footnotes, the endnotes, but the actual content of the book, let's see how much. That's how much I have left. This has been very fascinating. As the subtitle suggests, this is about art museums and colonization. Alice Proctor lives in the UK, so a lot of this is focused on specifically like the British Museum, Victoria and Albert Museum, some museums that she is more familiar with in the UK. They were colonizers. Oh my god. Who would have known? Hot off the presses, guys. England was colonizing. England still probably fucking has colonies, doesn't it? Anyway, she goes through these examples of these objects in museums and talks about where they actually come from. So places in India, Africa, Australia, and why it's so weird and problematic for these museums to own these objects when they should be owned by the people whose culture the objects actually belong to. So she breaks it down into 4 different sections, 4 different types of museums. There's the palace, the classroom, the memorial, and the playground. So the palace, she kind of goes through like the history of museums. The palace specifically was slash is like private museums, museums that were created by wealthy people, in centuries ago, but their legacy is still ongoing today. So like not Versailles. What am I saying? The Louvre is like a palace museum because it technically is a palace, even though now anyone can enter it. When it was first founded, like only the rich, wealthy people could go in and look at whatever objects and artwork was held there. The classroom is about museums that are meant to instruct people, so it still can be kind of closed off, but ultimately they are like, they do want people to come, but they don't want people to take anything away. That's kind of the argument that these types of museums give when cultures or countries try to ask for their items back. Their argument is, well, we are like showing these to teach other people about your culture, so why wouldn't you want them here? We should be able to have them here. A lot of museums have like statutes in their, I don't know, like statement of purpose or their instructions. I know she uses like the actual term in this book. I can't remember off the top of my head what the actual term for the like rules of a collection are, but one of them, I think it's the British Museum. It has like this stipulation in there that they can't discharge objects that are like teaching people about other cultures. And then the section that I just finished today was talking about museums as memorials. So museums that contain like really disturbing objects. So it was kind of a big discussion of the museum as a place to learn about tragedies, learn about the like burial rites of other cultures, but where is the line crossed? What is the sort of amount and level of violence that should be shown? What needs to be shown of another culture's burial practices or death practices if like the place where the museum is and the place that's showing these like remains is so far away from where those people came from? It's so interesting. So the last part, it's the playground. I haven't gotten into that yet, so I don't know exactly what that is going to mean, but I'm really excited to see. And I am even more excited to finally give it back to my friend because I feel really bad for having kept it for so long. And then next up, this one I did start recently. I started it last week, but I have been wanting to read it for so long now. And I wanted to read it in the winter when it was, cold and snowy outside. Alas, I'm still so happy that I started it. I'm so excited to keep going. It's Beartown by Frederick Bachman. So I am also about halfway through this book now. So I got to the part. If you've read this book, you probably know. You probably know what part I'm talking about, which I did not know what this. So let me go back to the beginning. Okay, this book is set in this rural, tiny, poor town in Sweden, probably Sweden. Frederick Bachman is Swedish. It's set in this town called Beartown. It is, like I said, small. A lot of the people, well, it's not all like poor, but it's a very wide divide between the people who have money and the people who don't have money. And the one thing that this town cares about is hockey. There are 3 hockey teams in this town. There's like the adults, there's the younger kids, and then there's the high school team. And the high school team is really good for the first time in like years. And the really exciting thing about that is they're like poised to win the like championships. I don't know if it's like national championships. I don't know what kind of championships it is, but they're like poised to win this big hockey competition. And if that happens, that would bring like a lot of economic prosperity to Beartown, which is what they need. It's so interesting how the politics of this town are like wrapped up in hockey. Everyone either used to play hockey or they were related to someone who played hockey, or they just love hockey. Like everyone fucking loves hockey. And even the people who don't love hockey, they have to. They like have to care still because everyone in this town cares about hockey. But at the very first page of this book, we get a little snippet of someone doing something bad. We don't know who, we don't know who's involved. We know what it is. We don't know exactly the events that lead up to it. And I think I'm starting to see what the events are leading up to it. I still don't know who exactly is involved with whatever happens on the first page of this book, but like I am so intrigued. And even more than that, the thing that it keeps me so hooked on this book are the characters. This is an incredibly character focused book. We hop around to like everyone in town. Everyone in town, it seems like, is getting a little bit of point of view. Some people get more, some people get less. We got the kids who are on the team. We have the adults who are like the coaches or the general manager of the team. We got their families. We got the like teachers and just like the local bartender, and adults who used to play hockey and now they don't play hockey anymore and they're like upset about it and their life is shit. Some people's lives are great, some people's lives are horrible, and it's just so interesting to see how every single person in this town, because it's such a small town, everyone is connected in one way or another. Everyone has opinions about everyone else in the town, and it's been so interesting to see all of that like coming together. A really horrible thing just happened to one of these characters, and I have not gotten to any of the like fallout yet. I know it's coming because it like keeps like hinting at what's to come. Like, oh, she did this thing and she didn't know it would be the last time she saw this person. So like there's just little bits of like, oh, wait to see what happens next. And I'm like, Frederick, I'm waiting. I'm here. I'm intrigued. Let me know what happens. But I, have to read words and that takes time. I know like this book makes people cry, or I know just Frederick Bachman's books in general make people cry. I don't know if it'll make me cry. Sometimes I cry really easily. Sometimes it takes a lot. So we'll see what I'm feeling on the day that I finish this book. It could very well, I don't think it'll be tonight, but maybe I might just have to stay up all night and continue reading it because I am hooked. Yeah, I'm really excited to keep going with this one. And then number 3 that I have here, this is embarrassing. I have been smack in the middle of this book for over a year. I can't even remember when I started it. I know it was sometime in 2023. I'm pretty sure it was sometime in 2023 at least. It could have even been in 2022. I don't even know. But this is Wildwood Imperium. This is the 3rd book in the Wildwood series, which you can actually see right behind me here, by Colin Malloy. This is like a middle grade fantasy adventure kind of series. The best way that I can describe it, because it's been so long since I read any of these. I think I read the first book, Wildwood, in 2021, I would guess. But the best way I can describe Wildwood is Over the Garden Wall. Like people always ask, I see all the time, people are like, oh, what's a book that reminds you or has the same vibes as Over the Garden Wall? It's Wildwood. This book. Read this book if you want to read a book that's like Over the Garden Wall. That being said, I really enjoyed Wildwood. And then I moved on to the next book in the series, Under Wildwood, and then also this one. And I just kind of wish I didn't. But I don't want to not finish it because I'm so close. But I don't want to go back and reread everything. Obviously, that these are like 600-page books. They're thick. And yeah, they're middle grade books, but that's still going to take a lot of time. But really, like the Wildwood, the first book in the series, didn't even really end on a cliffhanger. So anyway, you could read Wildwood as a standalone. I would probably suggest that. I haven't, so I'm going to keep going, and I just need to finish this. I just need to finish it. There's probably like 200 or 300 something pages left. And like before I move on to the last two books I want to talk about, I'm still going to talk about Wildwood for a second. I enjoy middle grade. Like I am still someone who enjoys middle grade. So it's not that I'm like upset by it being a middle grade series. I just wish it was a standalone. I just think it didn't need to be a trilogy. But I am reading the trilogy, so I got myself in this situation. I got to get myself out of it. And then finally, book 4, and then also book 5. I'm definitely not planning on finishing book 5, but I will show it to you. I will talk a bit about it, and in tandem with book 4 here. Book 4 is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Dorian Gray is my favorite book. It's my favorite book ever. I fucking love this book so much. One of the only videos that I did not private on this channel is my Dorian Gray of all of my copies of The Picture of Dorian Gray, because I collect different editions of this book. I have more than when I filmed that video. I think when I filmed that video I had 42 books? 41? I don't know. But now I have 49. I have 49 editions of this book. That's a normal number of books to have of the same book. I've been watching a lot of booktube lately, and I just keep seeing people, having the discourse of like, you don't need to buy different copies of your favorite books. Be fine with just one. And, I agree. I do agree with that. Be fine with just one. I'm not. I'm crazy insane about this book. I genuinely view it as like a collection, like anyone would view, like, I don't know, anime figurines. That's the only other example that comes to mind, because I get a lot of TikToks on my For You page of like people's anime figurine collections, and I'm like, hell yeah. I guess what I'm saying with that metaphor is Dorian Gray is my anime waifu, and I don't have any other justification. I own 49 copies of this book, and my goal this year is to read some of them. One of the 4 books that I finished this year was already The Picture of Dorian Gray. And I decided at the start of this year that I wanted to try to just read as many of the editions that I own as I can. I don't want to make myself sick of the book, but my kind of goal in mind is like once a month. That's 12 different editions. That's, a decent chunk. That's like a fourth of the books. And I have read a few of them already. And I will probably, like I said, I don't want to talk about this too much because my plan is to maybe film like throughout the year me reading them. I didn't film anything for the first edition that I read. I'll kind of just do a little recap maybe whenever I get around to actually filming about this book. I just want to keep reading my Dorians, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how many I'm able to do. We'll see if I go insane. We'll see if I make myself sick of it. We'll just see what happens. And then, like I said, in tandem with the Dorian, I have my complete works of Oscar Wilde collection that I started back in 2022. I am into the poetry. That's like this remaining, the poetry, and then the essays is all I have left. I'm not in a rush to finish this up. Like I said, I've been reading it since 2022, and there's still a lot left. There's still so much to go. I'm on page 716 out of 1,206. So that's still like 500 pages, which actually not too bad. That's like a one whole book. That's one whole Wildwood Imperium. But yeah, I think like I started this in 2022, and the last time I picked it up was maybe 2023. So it has been quite a bit since I've cracked it open. This is maybe the first time it's been open in like 2 years. I don't know. I probably won't read any of it in this video. I'm just mentioning it so it's out there, so the world knows I need to read this damn book. All right, so I'll probably insert some footage of me reading this from earlier in the day at some point in this video. I don't know when that's gonna come. Obviously, I haven't edited anything yet. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I need to read these damn books. For the rest of the night, I want to keep reading Beartown because it's just really good. It's really good. I don't know if you could hear me just then. I don't really know how this microphone is going to work. I don't know how anything is going to work. I don't know anything about anything. I don't know shit about shit. I just know I want to read. So I'm going to read. I am so stressed. I love being stressed though. I love being stressed when I'm reading. Reading is not a relaxing activity for me. Actually, I want to be stressed the fuck out. I want to be tense. I want to be on the edge of my seat. Although I do still want to be comfy, so only metaphorically. Obviously, I don't want to spoil what's going on in this book for anyone because, like I said, I love not knowing anything about a book when I start reading it. And I didn't know what was going to happen in this book. Um, I will say, I'm not someone who usually looks at content warnings. If you need to look at content warnings for things, look at the warnings for this book because I didn't know what the big thing was going to be, and I was surprised. I was shocked, but now I am stressed out for what is going to happen next. I've been stressed out, but like I don't. I'm not going to ramble on about something that I don't want to talk about for fear of spoilers, for fear of whatever. So let's just say I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens next, and I'm also scared. Okay, I need a break. I know I just said I love being stressed when I'm reading, which is so true. But I need a break. Yeah, if you haven't read this book, or well, no, if you have read this book, you can probably guess where I'm at just based on the vague things that I'm saying, the vague emotions I am appearing to be having. Um, if you haven't read this book, check content warnings like I said before reading it. But um so far it's a highly recommend from me. I'm about I would say I have like a third of the book left if I had to just eyeball it. I mean, this is the only Frederick Brockman book I have read, but I've, heard also generally about his stuff is that he just like understands how people react to things, how people think about things and talk about things. All sorts of different people having, all the myriad reactions to an event that people can have. But it's all so realistic. Like it's so, done so well. Even the people who like I don't agree with how you're reacting to this thing. Like I can understand why that person would react in that way, right? It's so good. It's so good. I mean, I'm stressed out and I'm sad, but like it's so good. Oh, okay. I think I need to make some nice calming tea. Maybe have a little snack. I don't know if I'm going to read anything else for the night. I think Beartown, I've reached my limit. Beartown's made me reach my limit for the evening. Everyone was right. Everyone was right. This book is so good. All right, it's been like a week, but I did finish the whole picture finally. It was a few days ago now that I finished it, so I don't have it to show you because I finally gave it back to the friend I was borrowing it from. Thank God. Also, the book microphone, obviously, I'm using Dorian. This was an idea that I got from Diaries of Creativity. She's been clipping her microphone to little books that she has and holding them as, the microphone handle for her most recent videos. I thought it was so cute. So it's totally credit to her. Her videos are awesome. If you aren't watching them, you should totally check them out. But anyway, I guess I would give a little update, not only on the whole picture, but what I am deciding to do about the rest of this vlog. I've been editing, trying to at least edit the footage I've taken so far down, and I'm at like 45 minutes already. I haven't edited everything, so it will get shorter, but that's still really long. I didn't really want this to be super long. But first of all, I guess I'll talk about my final thoughts on The Whole Picture by Alice Proctor. It was very insightful, a very, thought-provoking kind of book. I highly recommend it. I'm really glad that my friend recommended it to me, and I'm even more glad that I finally give it back to her. She was also very happy to get it back from me as well. But it was just so interesting. The last section, the playground, kind of focused on like performance art or artwork that the audience interacts with more directly rather than just like looking at a painting, looking at a photograph, looking at, some item in a display case. So it was just a really interesting way for the book to end, since the rest of it was talking about, art that you kind of feel removed from as a viewer. Like, yes, it might emotionally move you, but you're just kind of looking at it. The examples that she used were like the viewers are like involved in what's going on in whatever the kind of artwork is. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much knew I was going to enjoy the book. I'm not surprised I liked it so much, but I definitely do recommend it if you're at all interested in this topic of like art museums and colonization. And it was really nuanced too. It wasn't all just like museums have to give back everything that doesn't actually belong to their culture. It kind of got more into the discussion of like, when is it appropriate for museums to have these items, when is it not appropriate for museums to have these items, which it was just really interesting to kind of hear her perspective on it. It's definitely a book that I will kind of be thinking about for a while. It'll probably stay with me anytime I go into a museum in the future. It'll just kind of help me think a bit more critically about, what I'm looking at whenever I go into a museum. So that is finally one book off of my currently reading list. I still have like about a third left of Beartown, which I know I said I love books that stress me out, which is true, but I had kind of a stressful week last week, so I really didn't want to read such a stressful book. So I need to finish that as well still, and I've decided that I'm not allowing myself to read Dorian Gray until I finish Wildwood Imperium. So we'll see how that goes. I I honestly I don't know if like, I don't really want to DNF it, but I might I might just give up on it. I had that whole spiel about how much I liked the first book and how like the second and third books in the series were just not as good in my opinion as the first one. And, saying all that out loud, watching the footage back while I was editing it, honestly, I might just DNF it because I really, like, I've said it so many times now, I really enjoyed Wildwood. But books two and three were just kind of like, okay. And yeah, it's been so long since I read anything in Wildwood Imperium. You know what? Yeah, I'm DNFing Wildwood Imperium. So I guess let me grab it real quick. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Wildwood Imperium. Honestly, that is such a weight off my chest. I really do enjoy like Marie Kondo's philosophy of tidying things up that you own, getting rid of things that you own that just aren't sparking joy anymore. I kind of try to take that into all areas of my life. If something's not sparking joy, I let it go if I can, and I need to bring that more into my reading as well. So thank you, Wildwood Imperium, for the 250, 300ish, however many pages of you that I did read. Thank you for teaching me that I just didn't really like the direction that the series went after the first book. I will donate Under Wildwood and Wildwood Imperium, the second and third books in the series, to my library bookstore. And I mean, it'll give me a bit more space on my bookshelf because they're big books. So that'll be nice. And it's going to be so weird not seeing this book on my currently reading shelf on Goodreads or Storygraph any longer. But oh my gosh, it is such a weight off my chest. So, all right, I guess I still have to finish Beartown. And then I can read Dorian Gray. So yeah, I won't read Dorian Gray until I finish Beartown. It'll be my little treat to myself. But I have like told so many people. I'm like, I'm reading Beartown and I love it. And they're like, oh, interesting, because this type of book isn't really something that I usually read. It's when you describe it to people too, it kind of doesn't sound like super interesting, at least whenever I do, I like tell people like, oh, it's about this like small hockey town. And they're like, okay, how is it that interesting? And I'm like, no, trust me, it's so good. I guess also the other thing I was thinking about the past few days was just kind of how I want this video to, I don't know, how I want the structure of the video to be. It's very loosey goosey, totally, completely off the dome, unscripted, everything, which makes it kind of chaotic. It makes it kind of rambly. I don't really know when I'm editing what to cut out, what to keep. Is this boring? Is this not boring? I have like 70 something subscribers. Is anyone gonna give a shit what I have to say? I'm just gonna do whatever kind of makes the footage that I have flow best. I did start watching Frankie's Shelf and his videos, and I do like how his reading vlogs are. He's just sitting, and he's like, "All right, these are the books I'm gonna read. I'm gonna start with Beartown," and then it just cuts to when he's finished with the book and he gives his whole thoughts about it. And I've never seen someone do a reading vlog like that. Most of the booktubers I watch who do reading vlogs, they like take you, the viewer, through the experience of them reading. They set up the camera and like do a time lapse, or they film, them making themselves a drink, making themselves a snack, and then eating or drinking while they're reading the book. They show like what it looks like outside, or they take you on a little adventure. And I do like that. I just, my life is, I don't do things. I just read my books and then I'm like, here's my thoughts. Um, so I'll try the more kind of vloggy style for this one at least, because that's what I've been doing. But, as I continue to find my video style, I'll continue to grow. And, this time when I have, less than 100 subscribers, less than 1,000 subscribers, it's a good time to just kind of experiment, see what type of video making, type of filming, type of editing style suits me best. So I guess I'm just stressing about it too much. I don't need to stress about it as much as I am. I have been working on a script for a video that I'm really excited about. And oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to get around to filming it. I need to, you know, continue writing the script. I have some sections left to do. I'm probably gonna, go back through, do some editing of it. But I'm really excited for that one. I guess I'll give a little hint so you're intrigued, so you want to stick around to see what it is. It's about Stardew Valley. My obsession, my current obsession. But I think for the rest of the day, it's like so gross and windy and cold outside. It's not raining today. It was raining a lot yesterday, but it is, it's a good day. It's a good day for Beartown, actually. It's so fucking cold. And it was so nice a couple weeks ago. Yeah, maybe I do need to start like making notes about things to say when I update because otherwise I feel like I'm just rambling and saying nothing and this is really boring. Um so sorry, but also if you are watching then you must be kind of enjoying it at least. So, I guess thanks. Okay, I think I will try my best to maybe finish Beartown today. I don't know if I can do it because I'm still kind of feeling the lingering stress of last week. So I don't know if this will like be the kind of stressful experience where it makes me forget about my own personal stressful experience of last week or if it'll just kind of make it worse. So, I guess I'll find out. Oh my fucking god. Um so it was an all right book. It was okay, I guess. It was pretty decent. It was it was good. It was a good book. It was a good book. God fucking damn it. This was a good book. This happens to me so frequently. I haven't read a book in a while that I like really loved. A new book. Because I read Dorian Gray, like I said. I read Dorian Gray earlier this year. And like yes, that's my favorite book of all time. I know it's my favorite book. But I haven't read a new to me book that I really, really loved in a while. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the last book that would have been. And every time I don't read something for a long time that I really love, it's just all been like books that I've been like, it's fine, I guess, or it's a good book. Like the whole picture, it was a good book. I recommend it. It was more of like a, thinky intellectual nonfiction book, which is not like what I usually go for, right? I'm talking about like books that make me feel something. The whole picture made me think, which is great, but it didn't really make me feel a lot of things, you know? This one, this book, it made me feel. It made me feel every goddamn emotion under the sun. And it's been so long since I've read a book that has made me feel something. I was starting to think, I'm like, do I just not like reading anymore? Do I not like reading? Am I incapable of feeling emotion? No. It's just that some books, a lot of books actually, are okay. Or you just don't like them. Not many books are amazing. Not many books are so like specifically tailored to your tastes and calibrated to the emotions that you want to feel. It's so rare that you read them. And for me, Beartown's one of those books. I know that there are two more books in this series. I don't know what they're called. I don't know if I'm going to read them because this one was so good. So one of the reasons I really wanted to read Beartown is because of Lexi, aka Newly Nova. This was one of her like favorite books that she read last year or the year before. And then I know that she read the other two books and she just didn't think they were as good as this one. And obviously everyone's taste is different. Maybe I would love those books more than I love this one, but based on my, recent experience with Wildwood, with like most things, I feel like that um there's a first installment and it wraps everything up pretty well. Maybe, you could see how there could be a sequel, but it's fine as a standalone. Like books like that or TV shows or movies like that, I always feel like no matter how good the next one is, how much you enjoy the next one, it's just never as good as the first one. All that to say, I know that there are more in this series. I know that it's technically a trilogy. I probably won't read them anytime soon, if at all. Because this one was just so good. Is this a new favorite? I don't know if I would say that quite yet. I don't think it's a new favorite, but I did love it a lot. I kind of stopped giving books star ratings, even when I what did give books star ratings, which I did for quite a few years. It never really felt, I don't know, it never really felt right for me because I would read them, I would, have my initial feeling, give it my initial star rating, and then I'd look back and I'd be like, why did I give it that star rating? Or like, what's the difference between a 4 star and a 5 star, or a 4 star and a 3 star? Or like, I would see two books that I rated them both 4 stars, but I have such different feelings on them that it's like, is that even really comparable? One 4 star book versus another 4 star book. So I won't give this a star rating, but I will say I loved it. I'll say it again. I'll say it a million times. I loved this book. This book, Beartown by Frederick Bachman, good fucking book. Good fucking book. Read it. Read it, please, and thank you. All right, I need to get ready for my dance class because it's a Wednesday and it's like 6:30ish, probably, maybe even a little after 6:30, and I need to be there probably soon. So I guess have to deal with all my emotions for the rest of the night. But I finished another book, and now I can read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm so excited. All right. Okay, it is so nice outside today. I just got off work. It's 6 o'clock. Um, and my favorite spot to read outside is actually a cemetery in town here, and they close at 8. So it is beautiful. I can't waste this day. I do have to pack. I'm spending the weekend with my parents, but that's not going to take long. I can do that this evening. I do not want to waste this. I want to go outside. I have my bag ready, and I'm gonna stop to grab myself like a sandwich from the grocery store. But then I'm just gonna go to my favorite little reading spot and read The Picture of Dorian Gray for a while until I have to leave. So I'll probably finish this vlog here. I feel so much better now that I am not currently reading 5 books. I have not finished Dorian Gray, this edition of Dorian Gray, at least. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to kind of be reading Dorian Gray throughout the entire year, so I don't really need to finish this one right now. I am just happy to have finished finally the whole picture. Also Beartown, it was so good. I told like a few different coworkers and friends like how good it was. I was just like, listen, you're never gonna read this book. I need to tell you what happens in this book. And they were just as gagged as I was. But yeah, that one is gonna be a hard one to top for the foreseeable future, I think. And I honestly feel so good about my decision to DNF Wildwood Imperium. I I took that one. I took Under Wildwood into the library the next day, donated them to the bookstore. I feel so much lighter now that I'm not having to worry about that one anymore. I'm not sure what the next video I'll post will be, but I do know I kind of want to do a sequel-ish to this maybe, which is reading all of the library books that I have checked out right now. Not all of the library books. Most of the library books I have checked out right now. Oh, and this was my first time reading my favorite book at my favorite reading spot. So it was just really nice. But it is getting pretty close to 8 now. It's a little bit chillier. All right, if you've watched this whole thing, thank you very much. And, you know, this is my first video back in a long time. So I'm being easy on myself in terms of like editing, in terms of it just maybe not turning out exactly how I'm imagining it. Thank you very much. And I hope you are having a lovely day.